So I'm going to talk to you now about metal, and we're not going to go too deep into all the different types of metal that a goldsmith can make jewellery out of. But I think what's important for you to be aware of and understand is fundamentally there are 3 different colours that people tend to wear. One is a silver colour, like that. Another one is yellow, so I'm sure you're aware that most gold things are that colour, the traditional colour of gold. And then you've got rose, so you've got white gold, yellow gold and rose gold. And you also have other metals which are very similar to this colour, like platinum and silver. So if you're doing a drawing for someone and aren't sure what colour to make it, then you could do the same drawing 3 times, and we're going to do this, colour it in, cut it out, and then hold it up against that person's skin. And I think that gives you a really good idea of what suits them. So what I do in the shop quite often is I literally will get a customer to try the different colours on, and based on their hair colour, their eye colour, what we call their complexion, so the sort of the tone of their skin, sometimes it's really obvious what suits them. So Heidi, if you draw, imagine you are looking down on a ring, and that's what we call the plan view. So you just literally draw a rectangle. I'll draw it first, like that. So that is as if you were looking at that ring like that. So if I draw, that would be the finger, like that. And if we draw 3 of those rectangles, one underneath each other, and then we can colour it in. And what I've done for Heidi, do you want to use the colours out of the pencil set, or do you want to use the metallic colours?
I think I'll try the metallic ones.
You go for it. So we've got silver, gold and rose gold.
Yes.
And I'm literally just going to use red, but use it quite lightly to try and depict rose gold. I think it's the hardest one to get a colouring pencil to match. Sometimes I mix the red and an orangey colour. Yellow gold is a yellowy colour. There's different carats of yellow gold, but you don't need to worry about that now. But the higher the carat, the more yellow it is, because it's got more gold in it. And then we can use a sort of a silvery grey for the silver, white gold or platinum colour that you're trying to show. And you can just colour it in one block. If you want to be really snazzy and try and show that the metal is curving a bit around your finger, you can do it darker in the middle and then a bit lighter. So, and also from the edge, from the centre to the edges, so it will be a bit darker in the centre and a bit lighter on the edges. But we're getting into quite advanced jewellery design when we're talking about the shading as well. And that's something, if you guys are interested in, I can do more of that sort of tutorial a little bit further down the line. Now, we didn't talk about at the beginning about having some scissors handy if in the things that you need, because it's not essential. You can just hold this up to people, but if you do have some scissors and you're allowed to use them, I'm not sure what the right age is. I've let Heidi use scissors from quite a young age, just made sure that she didn't stab herself with it. Have we got any scissors handy? We haven't.
I'll go find some.
Okay, cool. But there you go, that's what I've done. And we would cut those out and literally hold them up. Now, my colouring, I've got kind of browny eyes and relatively fair skin and quite mousy blonde hair, which I have highlighted, so it's blonder than it should be. And I tend to suit more autumny colours, so yellow gold really suits me. But being a jeweller, I quite like platinum and white, the white metal, the silver metal, and so there isn't a hard rule, it's also what your taste is. And another thing that I think comes into it when you're trying to decide what colour metal to choose for a design is the colour of the stone. So you remember I showed you in one of the earlier tutorials that apatite, which is quite a mint, very unusual mint green. I'm not sure that will look that good on yellow. So let's have a look. I've got my 3 colours there, and I'll just hold that up like that. And that apatite, I'm going to put it upside down on the yellow. It might be some people's cup of tea. I don't know. What do you think? Maybe.
Doesn't necessarily stand out as.
It definitely doesn't work with the rose gold colour, does it? And that's the lovely thing about jewellery, is there are no rules. There are no rules in design. You literally can do whatever you want. If you're designing something for somebody else, I think it's really worth going through this process of thinking and considering all these things, because you don't want to go to the time and effort, and it normally costs a bit of money to have something made, and it doesn't suit them. If it's for you, you can go crazy. You can design anything. And there's also designs that are safer, and maybe you will like for the rest of your life, and therefore staying more neutral with the whites, with the white metals and the white diamonds is really safe.
Yeah.
What's your favourite colour?
My favourite colour is a light blue.
And do you think it suits you?
Yes. I made the pendant with your goldsmith.
That's true.
Yeah. It was light blue.
And it's really lovely. So the choice of metal colour has a big impact on the overall look of the piece of jewellery, and we're going to talk a little bit further on about mixing different colours together in one design as well, and I'll show you a few examples.